Yes, people. What's going on? It's Egal Talks Football. We are back again with another video. Liverpool are looking at Alexander Isak after just signing Florian Wirtz. Arsenal have an agreement apparently with GYOKERES. We got to talk about that. Spurs are looking at Semenyo, Eze. Arsenal apparently are interested in Noni Madueke. Chelsea just lost to Flamengo in the Club World Cup 3-1 after Jackson got sent off with another red card. This man, what is that? 2 red cards in the last 5 games. Man's absolutely nuts. And you know what? Manchester United might be going for Emiliano Martinez, former Arsenal goalkeeper. And we got to talk about the drama in Manchester where you got Phil Foden versus Cherki already starting on the pitch. We got to see it. We love to see it. We love to see the drama. Before we go any further, Vader's in the building. Vader, what you said?
Yo, you know what it is, man. Summertime, Club World Cup. Everyone on the panel today, you guys are watching. I'm participating, but yeah, I'm all right. I'm feeling good.
Shots fired within the first minute, I see.
No, I just stated a fact. It's not a shot.
You just like talking shit. That's what it is. That's what it is. Be honest, man. It's all right. We get it. You're in a tournament that we're not in. Fair play. Mm-hmm. You guys gonna take it serious. But the question is that there's a lot of European teams that are losing or dropping points to MLS sides, Brazilian sides. Anybody can win in football. But the craziest part about it is I feel like some of the teams are not taking it serious, or I have to question the actual standard of football in some of these leagues. Maybe.
You know what? I spoke about this on my show earlier today. I'm going to do a little shameless plug here.
Your audio is kind of low on that today.
It's low. Oh, it's low tonight. All right, I'll try to fix that up. But I had to emphasize, we can't look at these other competitions. We can't look at the Club World Cup and think that teams aren't taking it serious. The level of football, what up, Rax? The level of football, everything's raised. There's so much money in the sport now. Competition levels have raised. Quality of play has raised. These losses, and I know we'll end up talking about Chelsea, but these are good teams. Then if they're well managed, if they're motivated, if they're ready, if they're getting, this is why I'm loving this Club World Cup. I like that we're able to see quote unquote teams from different areas of the world competing amongst each other. I'm not saying that Chelsea aren't taking it seriously. I'm not saying that any team that's taken losses so far aren't taking it seriously. They're just getting beat, not being prepared on the day. And that could happen to my club. It could happen to your clubs if you guys were in the tournament. It just happens to be the competition are better for those 90 minutes. And so you got to earn the wins, guys. You got to earn the wins.
Rack, in case you didn't hear, Chelsea just lost 3-1 to Flamengo. Jackson came on for 4 minutes, got sent off after Flamengo scored two goals to come back from a 1-goal deficit, and then topped it off with a third goal versus 10 men to add insult to injury.
Look, I mean, I've been otherwise occupied because, as you know, today is Florian Friday. But I did catch that little bit of news, that snippet, that little gem did come through. So I had a little chuckle, but then I went back to celebrating my new star player. So yeah, good day, man. Good day all round.
You know what? Let's there's a message. There's a message here from Daniel, and I somewhat agree with him. I think he might be onto something. The South American teams get far too much disrespect, and people are taking the Club World Cup serious now. What a tournament so far. Winning it would be huge. I agree. The team that actually wins it, this could catapult them because it will give them so much money going into the new season. Plus, this is your preseason. It's the most competitive you're going to get for a preseason. I don't think you're going to play another game.
But this isn't preseason. The problem is that
Chelsea are not going to have a preseason. This is going to be their preseason, basically.
Yeah, we've got to manage this time very differently from you guys, right? So,
yes,
Pep wants to see these new signings play. He's trying to find the right balance, but then we're also trying to be competitive because we do have a stake in trying to win this trophy. So when Egal says it's serving as our preseason, he's right in that regard. The tournament ends July 13th, I believe, and then we'll have that chunk of each player 3 weeks off before they can kind of get back into the mix. So yeah, we're treating this as a tourney preseason. We have to, and it's a luxury, but it's also a little bit of a curse because I think no disrespect to them, but I think the title chase is going to be between Arsenal and Liverpool, and those guys right now have their feet kicked up. Like those guys are dealing with signings. Like Rax is standing out here celebrating Florian Wirtz Friday or whatever he's talking about. So like we need to make sure that we're ready, and Liverpool and Arsenal, they're going to be ready. We can see.
I think it's a massive disadvantage. I think it's a massive disadvantage for City. I think it's a massive disadvantage for City though. Because
I agree.
They haven't really had much of a holiday.
Yep.
And they're not going to have much of a holiday before they're back in pre-season training. This is like a World Cup or a European Championship season. And then the actual World Cup is happening next year. So some of these guys for three successive years are not going to have proper holiday. Big up for Sam.
No, don't big up Sam. No, don't big him up.
Listen, Sam's my guy. Of course I'm going to bring him up, man.
No, not with comments like that.
What are we talking about?
It's true. It's quite difficult to feel like sincerely like apologetic or just feel sorry for City. But
what? Why?
The one. Well, I don't know, man. It's just like you've dominated the last 10 years, so you had a bad season last season, but no one in this chat is feeling sorry for Manchester City right now. 250 spent, I think, just in January, and then in the summer you've obviously made some signings as well. So you're making the signings. Those charges don't look like anything's going to happen. So everyone's moving.
We got to bring up the charges.
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying well done. No, I'm just saying that you making those signings has made me believe that there's nothing there. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, but I'm making signings, but I'm not making record signings. You see how Liverpool are moving right now.
No,
Liverpool just made a record signing, and they're rumored to get another record in terms of signing Isak. Like, how am I going to compete?
You guys want to talk about Liverpool already? I think we need to keep it on City for a second.
I want to say one more thing.
I want to talk about Foden not passing the ball.
Ready to start with the deflection tactics, man. Come on.
Why is Foden not passing the ball to his new teammate? What's going on? What's going on, bro? Why is Foden not passing the ball to his new teammate?
He just doesn't believe in it. He just doesn't believe in him. But what can I say? He doesn't believe in him.
Is there infighting already?
I was going to say,
what are you gonna say, Em? This is the Manchester City.
No.
Let me hear what Em's got to say. Let me hear.
You see how, like you were saying, this tournament, it could be a good thing or a bad thing for City. I generally think that it could be a good thing because you've got so many new signings coming in. This would just give them that extra time because playing for Pep is not easy. He has a certain way of playing, and if you don't play his system, you're out. He's done that with so many players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it could work in your favor. Because how many signings have you made since January, and then including this summer?
About 8.
You see what I mean? So
8 signings.
You're gonna need time.
Yeah.
You're gonna need time. So it
those are like
work in your favor.
Backup defenders, like.
Yeah, we got 2 defenders, a midfielder. We got an attacker in the January transfer window. This summer, we got a defender. We got 2 midfielders, and we signed a keeper. Like.
You know what? You're a good deflector. I want to know about Cherki.
I'm not deflecting. I'm asking. Em mentioned something, so then I addressed it. Okay, this is what's funny with regards to Egal has not changed. It's the summertime. He has not changed when it comes down to Phil Foden. The funny thing is, if you watch the entire game, I so love the fact that Egal's not talking about Phil Foden getting on the scoring sheet 2 minutes into the game, showing that he's kind of shrugged off what was happening last season and looks to be refreshed. No. Egal does not want to talk about that. Doesn't want to talk about that. He wants to talk about the moment when Cherki was calling for the ball to foot and Foden looked them off, didn't pass the ball. Now, if we want to do that,
ignored.
This is where
the word you're looking for is ignored.
I said look them off. All right, Rax. Until you're on camera, I'm not listening to what you have to say until you're on camera. I'm not listening to what you have to say until you're on camera. Now, when it comes down to when it comes down to the game in particular, M was spot on. This is kind of serving as a potential opportunity here where the players can get on the same page. I don't think, and it was funny because I was watching and I was like, Cherki's calling for the ball very similarly to how Foden in that position is called for the ball and didn't get it. So I'm like, what is happening here? What is it when you're on the pitch that you don't look to release that ball? Because I've seen Foden roles reversed. Obviously, it wasn't Cherki. It was someone else at City who had the ball in that position. But I see Foden doing the same thing, right? Right here, right? And he doesn't get it. They got to get on the same page. I don't think there's any drama here. I think I've seen the manager put his arm around Cherki. There's an invitation here to like, hey, express yourself, do your thing. Him and Foden are going to have to get on the same page at some point. Or maybe it's a combination where they may not even be on the same side of the pitch that way, right? There might be a role where they're not in that same combination. But I think Foden, I think Cherki, in terms of quality, in terms of talent, will make it work. And this is just one game that's going to get blown up, exaggerated, because you have to find fault. Because you know what Foden did in this game, in the Club World Cup, that is being taken serious, that my club does want to win this trophy in? He had a goal and assist.
You know, the
Foden in this game had a goal and assist. Yeah.
The crazy thing for me is people were, after the France games, everyone's saying Cherki better than Florian Wirtz. Immediately after his performance in that first game, now it's back to Foden versus Florian Wirtz. I just find it hilarious.
They're two different positions, though, isn't it? Wirtz is more of like a 8/ maybe.
No,
6.
Wirtz is more of a 10. What are you talking about?
Is he?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But Cherki's going to play out wide for you. Is in
He's going to play in the 10 too.
Oof, that should be interesting.
Did Reinders play?
Yeah,
that should be interesting, bro.
Yeah.
Foden and
what's got you so busy where you're not watching, Rax? What do you got going on?
I mean,
he's got his feet up. Haven't you seen?
I'm on holiday, man. I'm on holiday.
Where are you at, right?
I've got my flip flops on.
Oh, fucking hell.
Wow,
We're going to bun you out
this guy
of the camera. I'm joking.
This guy showed his toes on camera. Wild.
No, straight in my face, bro.
Guys, okay, let's get into Liverpool. Let's get into Liverpool. I'm kind of disappointed. Ahmed's gonna be with us soon. He just needs to finish his match reaction. So the moment he could join, we're gonna talk about Chelsea. The moment he joins, we're gonna talk about thing. But City. Who's your next game? You play at like 2 p.m. UK, 2 a.m. UK time next game, right?
I believe Juventus is our next game.
Oh, that's a good test.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay, interesting.
A good game, yeah.
Like Rax is going to watch, but yeah.
All right.
I'll find some time for the highlights.
All right. Let's get into Man United.
YouTube is your friend.
Let's get into Man United. Let's get into Man United quickly, because I don't think we have enough likes to go into the main topics yet. I need at least 100 likes, guys. Come on, or at least close to 100 likes. We're going to get onto the main topic soon, but at least get us to that 100 likes before we get onto the main topic. I can see right now we're on 30 likes. You can do much better than that.
I'm doing it right now, people.
So get that thumbs up. Get those thumbs up in there. Manchester United are linked to none other than Emi Martinez. Emi Martinez to Manchester United, boys. What are we saying? And also, Aston Villa are trying to rob Manchester United. They put that Man United tax on. They said, how much for Emi Martinez? Manchester United said like 40 million. They're like, what?
They're not going to get 40 mil. They're not going to get 40.
You're talking about 40. Goalkeepers that age don't go for 40 million. They go for like 25, 30.
That's what I said. No, I said 30 mil. That's what's been quoted, isn't it? He's on about 150k. He's on about 150k.
He's 30 something.
The issue is, bro, he's looking for high wages, because I know this is probably going to be one of his last deals. So he's probably looking for
the right place.
Well, not really, bro, because we've got Onana. I'm not sure if you saw over the weekend. We've got Onana. We've still got Bayern, and we extended bloody Tom Heaton's contract for one more year as well.
32, by the way.
Yeah, so he's looking for that 3-year deal, take him up to 36, maybe move to Saudi. I don't know, but
he's only 32 as a keeper. That's not bad.
Aston Villa are cheeky because they're trying to basically solve all their FFP problems with one sale. And Manchester United are saying Emi Martinez is not worth 40 million. You guys are crazy.
I do think he is a top keeper. I'm not going to deny that. Do you know what I mean? I reckon he's had one bad season for Aston Villa, which is this season. But let's not forget, man. He's won the World Cup.
Igal's a big fan. Igal's a big fan, right?
I think he's a decent keeper, but it just doesn't make sense bringing him in and still keeping Onana here and keeping Bayern here, unless Onana can hold bench and you loan out Bayern. It just doesn't really make sense. But we do need a goalkeeper, so it's very similar with you losing Partey on the free. It's like, okay, cool. So do you sign another player before getting rid of Partey? Or do you just let him go? Whereas Onana, there's no suitors. No one wants him, bro. Saudi don't want him.
Yeah.
Like it's just So I don't see that deal
I
going
wouldn't
through.
compare it to my situation, but we'll talk about my situation in a second. Guys, please get those likes up. We're only on 45 likes. We all got over 600 people on all platforms. Shout out to everyone on Twitter. Come join us on YouTube also.
Why don't you like Martinez? I thought you liked him. I thought you rated him.
Martinez is good.
Nah, Martinez is a little bit of a weird individual. And anytime Emi Martinez, he does very disrespectful things to his opponents, and he always mentions Arsenal. He always has
Gal, you shouldn't have got rid of him though, because if you look since then, you've got rid of.
Oh, they shouldn't have got
Leno. Like you got rid of. You signed Ramsdale. You signed Raya. Me personally, I think Martinez is better than Raya.
He could have stayed and fought for his place and took Leno's spot, but instead he wanted to be a bitch and leave. So we got.
He fought for his place for 8 years. He was there for 8 years or something, and you didn't
you
know play
what?
him.
When he got it,
when everyone get and
when
he
he won an FA Cup. He should have stayed.
No, but I'm not. Do you really think that's down to the player? Why he left?
But he wasn't in the Argentina team. He wasn't in the Argentina team. He wasn't in the Argentina.
You know what?
He made the right
decision. Got a point. You guys got a point.
No, but one minute. He wasn't in the Argentina team when he was with Arsenal, right? So him leaving to go to Villa, didn't that put him into the Argentina until he's only won the World Cups? It was the right decision.
No, what put him in the Argentina team was him playing for Arsenal and winning the FA Cup. But guys, Vader's got to go. Are you gonna be back?
No. I'll be back at 9:30 your time. I'm just gonna have to be off camera for about 5 minutes. I got to tackle something, and then I'll be back.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I was worried you're gonna miss the whole Florian Wirtz conversation.
No.
Before we go any further, guys, please do hit that like button. Jay has just joined us with his camera off at this moment in time. He's gonna be putting it on any second, hopefully.
Fixing his hair.
And I just gotta say, I don't think Emi Martinez.
Funny because it's true.
I know you, Jay. I know.
I don't think Emi Martinez for 40 million makes sense, but Aston Villa have to try a thing. That's what they have to do. They and
not just that, but hold on. Not just that, but Martinez was arguably top 3, top 4.
Yeah.
Like he was on the Ballon d'Or list as well. Like we got to respect the level of keeping that he's been keeping as a keeper.
I know, but a 32-year-old goalkeeper does not go for midfielder money. I'm sorry.
Well, hold on one second. The only 2 goalkeepers that were better than him, in my opinion, was Edison, the 2 Brazilians, Liverpool and
Tell him, M.
I think he's better than Raya. I think he has been better than Raya. What do you think?
What
do you lot think? No, genuinely. I think he's a better keeper.
He's not. He's not been better than Raya.
Not last year. Maybe not last year, but the season before.
Yeah.
You know something? Arsenal's defense is a lot better than Villa's, so that is also a tax. But hey, we'll leave it there. Manchester United. The last thing is Dortmund apparently are coming in for a £25 million bid for Jadon Sancho. Would you sell him for 25 million?
No. Did you see the most recent? 25
million.
That's
how much Chelsea are going to pay for him.
Because of his wages, I would
sell him. What are you doing?
No. I just said because of his wages, I would. No, but there's been a new bid from who was it?
Napoli.
Napoli or Juve? Yeah,
Napoli.
Wow.
Napoli and Juve are like seriously interested.
Everybody wants to play with KDB over there, yo. It's crazy.
Oh no! Don't try that, bro. It's McTominay. It's McTominay.
McTominay.
It's McTominay, bro. It's not KDB.
He's finally getting the love and respect that he deserves because the guy was scoring crazy amount of goals for Manchester United. Now that he's at a team that actually appreciates what he does,
I'm happy for him, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very happy for him.
Let's talk about Liverpool, though, guys. Before we go any further, I just need to see: are we even close to the likes target, guys? What are we doing? We're nowhere near. We're nowhere near. We're on 53 likes. We're not touching the Liverpool topic until we get to at least 100 likes. So you guys got to get those likes up. Let's go to the next topic. Is Jay in the building? No, he is not. Okay, let's talk about Arsenal. I'm a little scared, guys.
Madueke.
Nah, Madueke is not happening.
Are you sure?
I'll tell you guys right now. The Madueke story.
Madueke Monday.
What is it with you guys and Chelsea, though, man? It's always taking their players.
Listen, the Noni Madueke stuff is literally when we inquired into Raheem Sterling last year, we also inquired into Noni Madueke. So that's why they've linked us to him now. It's
no, but Miguel, Matt Law is a legitimate journalist, right? With contacts in Chelsea.
But what he's done is he's cited Arsenal's interest back last season, and then also said that now that the player is available, these are the clubs that have shown interest in the past and would still be interested in monitoring the situation.
So you're
monitoring it. Yeah.
He cited the clubs that have been interested in Noni Madueke in the past and said these are the clubs that would be interested in monitoring the situation.
I think it's more of him as well. Like he probably wants to stay in London.
Where he said Arsenal are currently monitoring the situation. He said these are the clubs that would be on watch if he was available, which he was last summer apparently for £33 million.
To be honest, yeah, I don't even want to sound like a hater, but I don't think he's the type of player you lot need. I'm not saying he won't do well for you lot, but yeah, you got Trossard and Martinelli. Like, I don't know what's going on there, whether they're going to stay or not. But can he fit in? Can he take over one of their positions? I think he could.
I don't think he's better than Ethan.
Let's wait. Probably not. But Ethan's still, unless you're going to start him every week.
You watch Arsenal play. How many times did you see Arsenal play when Saka was out, where Ethan carried the game?
Oh yeah, but that was like 5 or 6 games, 5 games, 4 or 5 games.
Have you ever seen Noni Madueke carry a game besides that game versus Wolves where he scored a hat-trick?
He just can't finish. I've seen him do good things. It's just this decision making. He gives me Garnacho vibes. But out wide, he's a threat. Like, he's got pace.
You know what? I think it's rage bait. We've been linked to Noni Madueke. We've been linked to Garnacho. I wouldn't be surprised if we start getting linked to Rashford again.
I was just going to say that to you, but you won't get him because of the wages.
Look, it's not super strong, but it's not what you suggested, Igal. Chelsea and Noni Madueke is on the radar of a host of clubs this summer, including Arsenal. Arsenal are understood to have made a number of checks of different players, which make it hard to gauge the strength of their interest in Madueke and whether they will pursue him. Madueke has not been put up for sale by Chelsea and has not been offered to clubs, but rivals do believe he could be sold this summer, with a 23-year-old not considered to be untouchable. Chelsea have not received an approach from Arsenal or held talks with their London neighbours over Madueke, but the North London club are thought to be among those who have looked at his situation.
Yeah, I mean...
Looked at his situation. Now, you're right. Looked at his situation could have been a year ago, or looked at his situation could have been yesterday. We don't know that. It's not clear.
The problem that
rumors.
The problem that Arsenal have, and I do like an Arsenal to the pot. Good evening, everybody.
Spurs, big up, Jay. Big up.
Spurs Europa League champions 24-25. In case anybody forgot, been about a month now. Still heavy lies the crown. Do you know what I mean? This is what it feels like.
Are you gonna buy a replica trophy like some of the others?
Jay, it's tough when you're on top, man. It's tough when you're on top.
The thing, you know what? It's Drake wasn't kidding. Trust me, it's lonely. You know what I mean? But listen, right? No replica trophies yet, Igal. Like I say, Spurs, little old Spurs. 2 European finals in the last 6 years, so I don't want to hold myself. I don't want to have to keep buying replica trophies. Do you know what I mean, Igal? I don't want to have to keep in this economic climate. Should I really be buying replica trophies? Seeing as we're gonna start.
Okay, are we gonna get back on topic?
Igal. You forgot what it feels like to win a trophy. Don't let me bask.
You can start off the partey topic if you like.
Okay, listen. I'm gonna say what Arsenal's problem is a little bit that what Spurs had 16, 17, 17, 18. Once you have established very good players in certain positions, it can be hard to find players to come into the squad of the level you're looking for who know that there's a player ahead of them. It's difficult. So with I think Arsenal already is like they're playing catch up to just be in the position that they're in. Do you see what I mean? And that's never a good sign. They've lost their assistant manager. They've lost potentially Partey. They've lost Jorginho. Zubimendi coming in is great. And I think He's a very good signing, but because of
Is
the
he
way
better than Partey, Jay? Do you reckon Zubimendi's better than Partey?
I mean, I think it's one of those. Will he be better? Yes. Will he be better than Partey day one versus the level of performance that Partey gave them last season? I don't know. I don't know. That's a difficult one to answer. I'm not sure. Is the
losing
best
both of them, like losing Jorginho and Partey, and then just getting Zubimendi,
Well,
I think that's a bit
Guys,
of an L.
just to remind you guys, 2022-2023 season, Partey played like 5 games. That was the first year where we were challenging for the league.
Yeah. I listen.
But this season he's
And
been
just to remind you guys, last week Igal said it was imperative that you didn't lose Thomas Partey.
Yeah.
I understand.
And also, okay, Igal, and hold on, but Igal, you say that, and that's a fair point, but I'm going to rebuttal that and say in the second half of 22-23, when Rice looked so good and you were very consistent chasing City down, who was playing with Rice?
Was it 2022?
It was Partey. Yeah, it was Partey. It was Partey, Rice,
No,
Odegaard.
it was so basically in 23, 20, exactly. So you're saying even you had Jorginho playing with Rice, you've lost him now. You've got Partey, you lost him. So it's almost like even the person that played well with Rice, he's gone too.
But we got Mendy. We got one of the best out there.
You've lost 2 players basically. Yeah. So
and I'm looking at that midfield now, Jay. You got what? Marino, Zubimendi, and Rice. And Odegaard.
Yeah. And the problem that they've got now is, okay, let's say they think Lewis Skelly can play in midfield. Yeah. The problem is there.
We're gonna get
but the problem is there that they weaken their defense by moving Skelly into midfield.
No, not necessarily. We're gonna go for Jorrel Hato over at Ajax.
Okay, so my thing is so my thing is Arsenal are doing a lot of work to stand still. Is my point. That's the point I'm trying to make to you, guy. Like you're standing, like when people are saying, "Oh, Havertz might still start over Sesko first game of the season." Well, you're not improving your first team, then, are you?
Oh wait, Jay, did you see the Sesko news?
Let me tell you, Jay.
What's a release clause in his contract?
Jay, let me break it down to you. Arsenal are going to make 3 level raising signings, and Arsenal are going to make 3 squad signings. That's what I think is going to happen.
You're not signing 6 players. I'll just tell you that right now. You're not signing 6 players.
You need to listen to the person who's telling you what's going on.
So I always tell you. I always tell you what you're going to do. But I always tell you what you're going to do, and I'm more right on Arsenal than you are.
Hear me out.
I'm more correct on your team than you are. So you need to listen to me.
Hear me out. Right? So number 1, Kepa is going to be one of the backups, right? We're going to sign a defender because the likes of Zinchenko and Kieran Tierney would have already left the team. So that's 2 out, 1 in the defense. Also, we're gonna go and potentially sign a replacement for Thomas Partey for around 20 million, a young up and coming midfielder. This is like 23 that plays for Sevilla. So that's 3, and those 3 all together would probably cost us, I would say, 70 million for those 3 players. Kepa is going to be 5 million. Hato is going to be it's going to cost us probably around 60 million max because Hato is around 35 million.
Hato's not going to cost 35 million. Don't be silly.
Apparently,
don't be silly. Hato's going to cost 50 to 60. Yeah, like let's be honest.
Euros, 50 to.
Bro, listen, like he's their promising player. He's got a lot of years under his contract. They were selling Lisandro for like 60 a few years ago. Yeah, and he wasn't even their baby boy.
Even if we don't get Hato, you would go and get a center back from Lille. That's going for 20 million. Okay. Whatever.
But I'm saying you're not signing 6. Okay, maybe you sign 4 or 5 players.
No, that's but the 3 squad depth signings I think are realistic. $20 million.
Well, you have to look at integrating into the team. Yeah. Right. So if you're going after top level competitions, we've already seen Arteta doesn't love rotating. So you're going to try and tell me that Arteta's going to take 5 players and integrate them into the side whilst you're trying to play at the top level. And, no, it's not going to happen, right? So that, to me, tells me that either you buy 5 players and a couple of them see minimal game time, or maybe you just buy 3 or 4. and you try and integrate them properly. That's the way I see it. That's what I would do if I was Arteta. Because integrating 6 players at this point in time doesn't really make sense. And those 3 or 4 players only work if you do sign level raisers. So Zubimendi, brilliant. But the thing is Zubimendi coming in is meant to push the player out of the first team, not push him out of the squad and club altogether. Because now you've got to replace him.
Let me bring it back quickly. Partey and Jorginho leave. We bring in Zubimendi and say Aguma from Sevilla. Those are 2 for 2, going in and out, right? You have Jesus, who's injured, and Raheem Sterling, who is on loan. Both of them are basically not going to be in the team. At least Jesus, minimum, earliest time he'll be back is probably January or December time next season. So right now it's looking like we're going to bring in a left winger and we're going to bring in a striker. That's the plan. So 4 players right there. We've already got Kepa through the door. That's the 5th. The 6th player, who is the question mark, is if we can sign a quality defender to come into this team. And you guys are probably wondering, why do you need more defenders? Simply put, they want to have the defensive cover in the case that we have a similar injury issue, or the player who can come in and cover for the center backs, or somebody who can cover a left back, one or the other, because they could move Miles Lewis-Skelly into midfield if needed. And overall, you might think it's crazy to buy 6 players, but when you have a backup goalkeeper who's not going to be playing much minutes, you have a backup defender who is going to be basically a project player, a backup midfielder who's going to also be a project player, and 3 potential level raisers in a left winger, a striker, and Zubimendi. I think it is logical to say Arsenal can pull off a deal for 6 players, especially when Kepa costs 5 million. One of the midfielders we're looking at is about 20 million, and the other defenders between the 40 to 30 million range.
Well, why is that logical when I've not seen evidence from it previously? You're asking for a leap of faith, yeah, because the evidence says you're not going to do that based on previous transfer window activity. That's what it tells me. So you're hoping you're going to do that, but there's no evidence to support that. The level raisers that you want in the market, where are they? Yeah, because the thing is that, like, where are the players that you can? Okay, so you're now saying Rodrigo. Okay, cool, Rodrigo. Well, let's say you don't buy Rodrigo. Nico Williams is gone. Yeah, Barcola's not leaving. Yeah, Leao, you want to take?
Yeah, Eze. It's simple.
So is Eze the level raiser you envisaged when you came into the transfer window?
Eze is still somebody who's a clutch player and can make a difference in those.
But this is my point, Egal.
No, I like Eze. I think Eze is a good player.
Are you trying to buy players to win the league, or are you trying to buy players because you think you need to buy players because you know that the squad's lacking something?
No, we're buying players who we believe have the character and ability to win and get us a.
But the problem is, Egal, Egal, when you go to the shop, yeah. Hold on, but Egal, I'm saying when you go to the shop, Egal.
Respond to one sentence. Let me respond with one full sentence before you cut me off. It's mad. Let me respond. I'm simply saying Arsenal needs to go and sign level raisers. And when I say level raisers, I mean players who are going to go and make a difference in that final third in the attack specifically. The reason why we're getting Zubimendi, and I consider him a level raiser, is because, one, I did not think Partey was going to leave. And if you want to say now that Partey is leaving and him coming in as a 1-for-1 replacement, fair play. But at the same time, we are going to go and sign 2 attackers that is going to improve this team's attack. Simple.
Okay. So I'm saying to you now, yeah, that's fine. But you know, when you go to the shop and you've got a shopping list of what you want to buy, and there's a certain quality of ingredient that you're looking to purchase, and you go there and they're out of stock. Yeah. So then you go to the next item and it's out of stock. So what you end up buying at the end of this is inferior quality ingredients, not even terrible ingredients, but for what you wanted to make, for what you went to the shop to go and buy, you bought the wrong kind of ingredients. And you're in MasterChef against really, really efficient husbands and wives. The husbands and wives, the wives are going to the shop, they're getting everything off the list. You know, Michelle Edwards, she's there, she's doing her thing, buying everything you need. And that's my point, Egal. You think you exist in a vacuum. You do not. Everybody else is trying to get better. Everybody else is trying to improve too. And you're out here just doing the most to stay still. That's my issue with Arsenal this window so far. Just
I
to
agree.
stay still. You
I
are
agree.
thrashing in the water just to tread water. You're not swimming. You're in the same spot. And you need to understand that this transfer business that you're trying to do, you've shown no ability to close big 60, 70, 80 million pound deals. And you think you're going to do 2 in this window. Let's see.
We've already gotten Zubimendi in. I think it's pretty straightforward and clear that everyone can see we're going to get either Gyökeres or Sesko. One of those are going to come in. And in the case we don't get either, the fallback plan is Ollie Watkins. The what do you call it? The left winger situation is very much up in the air. I agree with you. But the reason why it's up in the air is because Arsenal is going to wait and see if they can get Rodrigo. If they cannot get Rodrigo, then they're going to pivot. But they do have a plan in place for that. Now, where I don't necessarily think you're wrong is we have not seen Arsenal go and solve all their problems. We're not Liverpool. We're not City. We're not friggin' even Manchester United or Chelsea. We don't necessarily go and do business that makes sense. Sometimes we do things that are illogical. So to a certain degree, I do think you're right. But hey, I'm not sitting here. I'm not sitting here on the 20th of June saying that Arsenal is not going to do the business that I think they're going to do, because all signs are screaming that off the back of last season, where we had a net 10 million profit off the back of at the end of the window, that they can go and spend this window. Come July 1st, I do expect a lot of escalation in some of these deals, and I don't think Arsenal go and make 3 signings before July 1st.
I have a question, right? So for your left wing position, Rodrigo is the guy that you're waiting to hear about.
Yeah.
How long do you leave it, or how long do you think Arsenal are going to leave it before they need a decision from Rodrigo? Because obviously it's not great if you have to wait until the season actually starts. Say you have to wait till the last week of August. You probably don't want to do that, right? Because the thing is that also may be the situation that's going to have a knock-on effect to your striker to your striker dilemma, because he seems to be your main guy, the one that you're targeting. But at the same point, you need to have a decision, I would say, by mid-end of July at the latest.
Okay, when does the Premier League start?
First or second week of August, I think. Normally,
August. So I think July. The Club World Cup ends July 16th. The Premier League starts August 16th. It's a situation where
mid-August.
It's a situation where we probably will respectively have about a month to see if we can pull off Rodrigo. If we don't pull off Rodrigo before the season starts, I think we're going to go and end up with either.
Is that too close? Like,
I think we're going to either end up with the Eze or something like that. But at this moment in time, Arsenal is probably going to try and get a Morgan Rogers, who's a different type of player. And if we just try a ting on him before the end of this month, because Villa have to sell players, and we're going to see if we can get him as somebody who can play in that left wing and what do you call it, midfield pocket, before we go and do anything else. So I have to wait.
But then if you get Morgan Rogers,
I honestly don't have an answer on what this plan is with the left wing as I would with the other positions. That's
because the thing is, if Morgan Rogers is a realistic target, and you want to try and get him before this PSR deadline for Villa, right? So you can get him. Then if you get him, I don't know if you're probably not going to get Rodrigo. I'm guessing, unless you get him for a real cut price.
1 second. This guy came on my channel and then says, Egal's here. I'm out of here. You can go and get banned then. You don't have
He's on his own channel, would you?
Yeah, you don't
There's
have
plenty of other places you can go to avoid him.
I know. It's like Egal talks football. What are you doing here? I see that.
Yeah, honestly, you guys talk crazy. But hey, before we go any further, please do hit that like button. We're almost on 100 likes, and literally just 3 likes.
Ches is in the house, man.
Ches in the house after disgracing the Premier League. Disgracing. You let some guys from the favelas. All right, listen. We're a family channel, but they fisted you up from the first minute to the last minute. You know what I mean? They were living la vida.
We're gonna talk about it, guys. We got bigger issues. We got bigger fish to fry. We'll talk about Chelsea once Ahmed joins, hopefully. but Rack has to leave soon, and Rack Rack has to leave soon. We just hit 100 likes. We're 2 away.
Gotta go 10.
Guys, hit that like button, guys.
I can stay a bit longer.
Let's get to 100 likes. Guys, we got to talk about Liverpool. Honestly, they are genuinely going to have probably one of the craziest windows ever if they pull off what they're trying to do. Liverpool are trying to go and sign Florian Wirtz, which they've already done actually. They're trying to go and get Marc Guehi on top of that. They've gotten Frimpong through the door. They're also trying to go and get Alexander Isak this window. And on top of that, if they have the excess cash, they're going to try to go for a left winger of quality also.
Kirk's deal has been agreed apparently. So Kirk's we got 3 through the door so far.
Oh, listen, Ahmed joins now. Ahmed, you're
I'm
finished.
I'm gonna be able to somehow make it for like 6 minutes. Yes, I really got 6
You're finished.
minutes.
Wow.
He's gonna give a statement. He's gonna give a statement, and he's gonna go.
Ahmed, Chelsea losing 3-1 to Flamengo. Jackson getting sent off after 4 minutes.
I love how you call them Flamingo, by the way, not Flamengo.
As in the
Listen, you know what? Listen, I'm just gonna say, listen, credit to Flamengo. They definitely outcoached us, outbeat us at the end of the day. I'm gonna be a competent professional as always. But one thing I will say is that, listen, I always see the Club World Cup as a place where we should be allowed to experiment, because, like, again, our group isn't, as I would probably say, competitive compared to some of the other ones. So I think the manager in this game decided to try out some new stuff, obviously, that he probably wanted to try out. It didn't work out. It is what it is, and we just move on to the next game.
No, we're not just.
We move on to the next game, but the season's not begun. You know, you can't do that. Like, next game, guys. Come on, we've got another game on Saturday.
No, we got another game on Tuesday morning, 2 a.m. So listen, you know, we moved Tunis. So again. But yeah, no point of view about the Club World Cup.
We got to talk about two things. Number one, Jackson, is he finished at your club?
I think if there's ever been a moment really where a player is really just like, I feel like showing that I think his time, maybe like it's time to go, it might be that. Like, there's a picture, by the way, of like when he does the red card, he's not even looking at the ball, bro. He's legit just looking to get at the man. Like, this is the problem with Jackson at times.
When you know it's already, he's gone. You know already. There's no point of sticking around.
Yeah, like, and the thing is, this has happened now. Like, he stayed on the pitch for 4 minutes. Fun fact, and he's had 2 red cards in 4 games. In the last 4 games that he's played. So,
and Newcastle was a big game. Like, to get a red card in that game was bad.
Right, Ahmed, certain man is saying you got pumped by a pink ostrich.
Listen, well, you know, fun fact about, listen, you know, let me go, you know what they say about Flamengo.
This is an image that I don't want in my mind. Please stop.
Yes, yeah, you know what it is, man. Flamengo have poisonous meat. Actually, the actual like muscles are like very poisonous. So makes sense, to be honest. But it is what it is.
Hey, all I gotta say is shout out Georgina.
Welcome to the National Geographic Channel, people. We're pleased that you're here.
You know what we're not going to allow happen. We're not going to allow Ahmed to be like, it is what it is. We move on. Because guess what? Yeah. He's about to rush and talk hours upon hours about this result. So
actually,
this is
I'm actually not. My other guys are catching out. I'm actually fairly calm about the situation. Just I have to host my own channel. That's the reason why.
You're fairly calm about the situation. Okay.
Let me guess, bro. What did you say on your own channel? Yeah. On to the next game, lads.
I literally said, listen, the Madueke obviously made some mistakes. He's trying out a new system that didn't work out. Some of our players, Sanchez actually.
What were the mistakes? What were the mistakes?
So, like, I think, like, he was trying to, essentially get Flamengo to actually come on to us, and then we counter. That's why Neto actually looks quite well in the first half. If you actually look at when he played, Delap kind of was playing all right in the first half, in my personal opinion, because that suits them as well, right at the end of the day. But some of our other players, like Enzo, those guys like that, they're more used to like possession, ball to feet, making stuff happen, and that didn't really necessarily happen. He also actually tried Palmer actually on the right wing for once to see how that would do. Right, obviously didn't work out as all there, but I think one of the things that I do criticize Madueke for, Sancho was clearly hurt, in my personal opinion, before the equalizer and the second goal. Like his calf was actually wrapped around, and like he got hurt, right, and he didn't remove him. That for me was a big problem, because like if you look at both the equalizer and the second goal, he literally had no movement. He couldn't even move.
What do you say to people who say Delap's not the guy?
I think, listen, guys, this is his first start. Like, he didn't. The thing about Delap that's unlike Jackson is that you have to feed him. He's the type of striker you have to feed, right? You have to create chances for, right? And we didn't really create that many chances for him. So I think we're being very, very, very harsh here at the end of the day. Yeah. Again, this Club World Cup again is on some level a preseason for us as well, right? I know Big understands what I mean.
Educate him.
Right. So for me, it's also about our policy.
I don't understand how this no one says the World Cup is a pre-season, right? It's a post-season tournament. It's not a pre-season tournament. You guys are going to go away on holiday and then you're going to come back.
But the thing is, Brack,
with all due respect, come on, let Ahmed speak on this. He's in the tournament and listen to what Ahmed has.
Thank you. Yeah. But I think I was just gonna continue onwards. The thing is, right, bro. Obviously, this will end somewhere in July. Like, let's say we make it to the last 16 on the quarterfinals. That's somewhere around about the 5th of July, right? Which is basically roughly in 2 weeks, basically, right? Or in a week. Yeah, 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, right? So essentially, we're gonna have a bit of a break and then we come back in August. So essentially, it is preseason, right? Because some people's preseason are starting next week or the week after as well.
Yeah.
Some of you other guys, right? So essentially, this is the equivalent of preseason for us. So at the end of the day, we lost the game. We keep it pushing. Again, this is a good thing for the sporting directors to see. Again, guys, the goalkeeper's not good enough. Our centre backs need to be improved upon. Strikers, we can see what the issue is here. Let's improve on that and let's try to speed up some of the signings that we need to make happen.
One quick question, Ahmed. Sorry, I just want to ask one more.
Don't you wish you paid that extra $5 million after Sanchez's performance today?
I mean, I've always said Mannion was an upgrade. If you didn't want Mannion, Petrovic. We've got a goalkeeper called Petrovic that can do an amazing job. But we didn't take him.
But going into next season, are you happy with Jackson and Delap? Do you reckon that's enough? Have you seen?
I don't think that's enough. That's not enough. And B, I think Jackson's time at the club is up, in my personal opinion. Sadly, like he can't control himself. In my personal opinion, that's the problem with him. He's emotionally, he's not able to stay focused, and that's the main problem.
Big up everyone in the comment section, guys. We kept enough time on Chelsea. Ahmed's got to go.
He's like 6 minutes is all we got for that bum club.
We have to talk about Liverpool. We have to talk about Liverpool.
Longer than me on United.
Do you know what I mean, bro? Longer than me on Tottenham. Has he even spoke about the Europa League winners? I think not.
Bro, every show,
European champions.
Okay, guys, on a real, I am triggered because Liverpool not only have signed Florian Wirtz, you got everybody and their mom saying Alexander Isak to Liverpool. I can see it happen, you know. See it happen. Even in the fine print.
I was saying it ages ago on my own channel.
15 minutes ago, you're happy with Arsenal's business.
Let me have my monologue.
Listen to the hate in Egal's voice.
Let me have my monologue.
Let Egal finish. You finish. Just listen to the hate in his voice.
Guys, let me have a monologue. This is going crazy. Because in my opinion, the Florian Wirtz deal, I said, you know what? Liverpool versus Bayern and what do you call it, Man City, they won that. They got it amazing. I didn't think they were going to be able to get it over Bayern or Man City. They got the deal done. But now it's a situation where they think they're big boy on campus and they can get any player they friggin' want. It's ridiculous. Alexander Isak is not for sale. Newcastle have put a ridiculous price tag on his head. They've said if you want to pay for him, you need to give us at least on 150 minimums to start negotiations, and we want closer to 200. That is what's been reported today, right? Also, there's in every single article about Alexander Isak to Liverpool, it was Liverpool want him and Liverpool are prepared to pay 100 million for him. No shit. You guys are going to have to pay more than 100 million for him. And everyone knows that. So it's like they're basically briefing everybody about what they would want to do and what they would want to happen. But in the same breath, it's like what we're saying about Alexander Isak for the last couple of years. Newcastle don't need to sell. Newcastle don't have to sell. The player has to force.
What does Isak want?
The player has to
get rid of Nunes.
And I don't think it's attainable. But hey,
what does Isak want? What does Isak want?
We don't know what Isak wants.
What do you mean?
Okay.
The money's
there's an unknown. There's an unknown in this situation, in this equation that you've.
There are no unknowns and there are unknowns. Yeah. This is an unknown. I'm with you.
You know what the thing is? To me, you guys are moving like.
Jay, that was brilliant.
You guys are trying to move like you're the big boss on campus when you really don't have any say if Alexander Isak joins you or not. It's really down to Newcastle.
Do they not have enough, Egal? Like, do you not look at the team that ran away with the Premier League, who just bought $100 million player in Florian Wirtz? Is that not enough? Is that not enough to be like, okay, let's not forget that extra 20? That's the thing, yeah, that winners do. Like,
Igal, you
like
just
they built. Hold on, but no, Rax. Let me
let him land. I like where he's going with this. I like where he's going with this. Go on.
They build from a position of power. That's how you maintain your position. Yeah. Now, the thing that Liverpool are doing now when they're buying Wirtz is they're flexing. Because when Liverpool spend this money, you've seen it with Alisson. You've seen it with Van Dijk. Yeah. When they spend it, they think, yeah, we've got an all-timer here. Like, this guy's going to be here at the top for the next 5-6 years. Yeah. And they've got a good hit rate on those kind of transfers. So to me, I look at that and say, okay, these guys know what they're doing. Yeah, you don't need to talk about Isak and whether or not they're going to get, because even if they don't get Isak, they'll get Ekitike, they get João Pedro. He'll fit perfectly in the system. Because they've got players that are bagging 15 to 20 GA a season. Yeah, consistently. Yeah. Jota, Gakpo, Diaz, Nunes.
No, don't say Nunes. Don't say Nunes.
Even Nunes, he's still hitting 15, 20 GA.
What,
even if you don't like the player.
In the Prem?
In the Prem, I swear he still hit 15.
No.
You made a valid point.
I'll take him at United if he's getting 15 a season, bro.
But the ironic thing is, right?
Okay, not this season. Shit. Oh, 7.
But Igal, yesterday. You're saying
let's get it out of the show, please.
Igal, you're saying all this about Liverpool, but then in the same breath, yesterday I literally heard you said, and if he's available, I want Arsenal to be there. Like, ultimately, all we're doing is we're going to try. And Isak, who knows? He may be a difference. If he agitates for a move, he obviously wants to come to a very, very strong club that's capable of challenging for the biggest honours. And if that's the situation, he may be able to force the move. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But we're there and we're asking the question. And if it doesn't happen, then fine, we'll move on to another target.
But the thing is like, it's in this modern culture of football, it's a lot for someone to demand a move. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's quite a lot. So you've got to build yourself up to a level where people are like, nah, I gotta get to Liverpool. Let me get my contract. Do you know what I mean? Like, Liverpool kind of gets that level. Ain't no one forcing the move to Arsenal. Yeah, no one forcing the move to Tottenham. Yeah, no offense. No one's like, if Tottenham bid for you and the club says no, the player's like, all right, fair enough. All right, you know, it happens. You know, if City bid for you and the club rejects it, the player's like, listen, man, come on, man. This is my one time to work with Pep, man. Please, man, let me have a contract. See, there's a level. Yeah, I get it. So the thing you got is like, you know, like you're just like, you have to pay over through the odds. If Liverpool are going to spend 100 million on Wirtz, it's a great signing. Yeah, obviously.
One second. When guys are being told, I have to respond.
Yeah, you got to.
GYOKERES right now is forcing a move to Arsenal. GYOKERES right now is trying to force a move to Arsenal.
I mean, he's likely. He's forcing a move. Like, you know, when your chocolate bar is stuck in the vending machine and you try to bump the machine. That's the level of forcing that he's doing at the moment. He's not really forcing. He's I'm just like giving it a cheeky shove. Do you know what I mean?
You know what? Like,
this show right now, everyone's loving it. Big up to everyone. Please do hit the like button. We got over 500 people on YouTube. The moment I slap argument between Jay and Egal, everyone's in here. I'll give it up to Jay. He's really trying to cook today. Fair play.
Do you know what though? Hey, that Sesko thing, where he said
we're not getting Sesko.
I'm not sure if this is true, but he actually came out and said he wants a release clause.
That guy's a weird.
That alone speaks volumes, bro. You're in the Champions League. You finished second last season, and you've been after this guy for a whole year, maybe 2 years, and you still can't get it over the line. And he's actually, I just can't believe.
Arsenal don't sign players in early June. We make
but you need a striker. And you need to get it done.
We're gonna sign a player. Listen, this is about Liverpool. How the hell did Liverpool?
I gotta go, but I'm just loving this Arsenal talk.
Marc Guehi told Arsenal, I don't know if I want to come to Arsenal. You guys have so much defenders already there. And then Liverpool come knocking. He's like, "Yep, I'm getting ready."
This is exactly what I just told you a minute ago. I'm saying Liverpool's knock is starting to get a little bit louder.
You're doing a little too much.
Stop. You know what he's seen? He's seen
It's in-
Saliba. He's seen Saliba, Gabriel, Ben
That's
White,
it.
Timber, Tomiyasu, and said, you know what? I don't know. Then he looked over at
He
Liverpool.
didn't say Tomiyasu, I don't know.
One
He
second,
said
one second.
that hospital.
No. Egal's doing too much now.
Van Dijk
All
is
right.
the greatest
He's seen
defender in Liverpool
Konate.
history.
He's seen Konate, Van Dijk, and then said to himself, Gomez? Bun that you. I'm gonna go ahead of all these guys.
Ben White. When was the last time Ben White played a centre back?
No, I'm
You
saying.
know what I mean?
Does anyone
Max, don't
credit?
focus on that point.
Bro,
Don't
I'm not
focus-
gonna lie
Egal
to
was
you.
just boosting a little too much. He should have just said,
Marc Guehi is the successor to Konate. Konate is going to Real Madrid anyway. So
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Hating.
Oh,
Hating.
well, you know what? That's all well and good because Saliba will be going afterwards, and you're not going to have anyone to take his place because we're going to
oh,
go
now
away
you're
already.
taking shots at each other.
No,
This is-
no. We're gonna have our own
Listen,
guys. Don't worry.
Even if Konate goes, listen, the difference is, Egal.
Let's
If
be honest.
Konate goes,
Listen,
if Konate goes, we'll find somebody else.
you're
we'll find
worried.
somebody else.
You're worried.
No,
I'm not. Does this face look worried? Does this face look worried?
You're chilling with tequila.
Can I say this real quick? He is chilling with tequila. I want to say this. The
We
thing
don't
with
promote gambling or alcohol.
the thing, absolutely not. The thing that is interesting, and Egal was doing too much when he named off all those players, but I think he's right when he says if Guehi's looking at there's Gabriel and Saliba, or I'm looking at Van Dijk and Konate is kind of like pending with this contract. I'm gonna take my chances over there. It does bode well, especially with an agent over his shoulder saying, hey, this is what you should do or look to do. But I think, obviously, Liverpool as media darlings, no one's going to talk about them buying the league. But the way they're flexing in this transfer window and the signings that they're doing, they're...
No.
Let me finish.
No. Last season, they got a new manager that came in, yeah? I'm a Man United guy, and I fucking hate Liverpool more than all of your clubs. But I have to be honest, no one predicted for them to win the league, let alone finish top 4. They never signed not one single player, and they ran away with the league. So this whole...
You're boosting.
Bro,
they did sign a player last season. They did sign a player last season, and they did have a new manager,
what's
yes.
his name? From
Okay.
Italy.
Yeah, Chiesa. They signed Chiesa. All right.
What effect did he have to them winning the league?
That's a different point that you're making. They did sign a player. So
they signed
It's
one
like
player.
semantics.
I'm just
Semantics.
I'm just saying this whole like Liverpool buying the league. I'm just not seeing it yet.
Okay, well, let me just say this real quick.
But I do hear what you're saying with the Klopp comment saying, the oil clubs are spending all this money.
He's like, you know what? I sound like I support Liverpool a bit too much.
Yeah,
Beta? You're right.
No. It's just not. I hate Liverpool, but bro, like if they can pull off signing 3 players, not like 5 or 6, like how?
No, but that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. It's not just about signing players. We all sign players. They're talking about a record signing that they've already done, right? The best German they've signed. They've gone out and they replaced their left back. They replaced their right back. And there's talks about them going out and getting Isak, which would be another record signing. So I just want to emphasize,
record signings.
They're media darlings. No one's going to talk about them having 2 record signings in one window, them buying the league. But that's essentially what they're doing. They're not going to get that type of criticism, and I get all that. Now, Isak going to Liverpool does scare me for a little bit. It does scare me because I think the agent, I think whoever's talked to him, whoever's talked to Wirtz, and they kind of sell this whole project is like, listen, Mo, he just signed a 2-year deal. Like, yeah, he's the face of Liverpool, but he's only here for 2 years. This can be your team. This is the short-sightedness that Trent 12, he's rebranded Trent 12, not Trent Alexander-Arnold, but Trent 12 didn't see this. He left. But talking and saying, Wirtz, this could be your team, or Isak, you could be the face over here. If they pull this off, they're dominating.
But Veta, what do you think about this though as well? Yeah, because you see like how Liverpool played. They don't play with a proper centre forward. Yeah, do you reckon that will take away from their goals and how they play? Because it's a bit with Arsenal. It's like
that's a great question. You know what?
I'm going to be called a hater.
No. Egal, hear me out. Hear me out.
The realest thing I could say is,
Egal, hear me out.
There's only so much goals and assists that can go around. I don't think all of them can eat like.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to say.
And I'm with you, Em. I'm with you. This is what I want to say. We've seen, and relax. We've seen a less giving, a less team player Mo Salah before, right? I think it's going to be interesting when he has someone equal to maybe his scoring ability, whether he shows the same generosity.
Like
Vader,
Sadio
you want to
Mane,
read the super chat?
like Sadio Mane when he became joint top Premier League scorer with Mo Salah in the same season. That's a trade.
Vader, do you want to read the super chat?
Fonzie,
Yeah,
I said
he
this
was
in the
joint.
beginning
He
of
was
the show.
joint, but he could have been top if Salah had shared the ball more with Mane. Vader, you spent more than us, Jan alone. What? Okay, hold on. I've spent more since Jan. You guys are about to spend on a record signing. So when we talk about a position of strength, which was emphasized, right? You guys have won the league, and you're about to get record signings again. It's very different. In totality, how much I'm spending, you look at, because again, the media darlings Liverpool, you're going to look at the totality. But in terms of the quality, Liverpool are flexing out here.
In City's defense, in City's defense, look,
everybody loves Spurs, bro.
People will talk about the whole City. In City's defense, they haven't spent much in the last few years. Similar to Liverpool, in general, we haven't spent much in the last few years. We had a season when we brought in Szoboszlai and McAllister and Gravenberch, but Gravenberch and McAllister bought in relatively low fees. The season before that, we didn't really spend. The last season, we didn't really spend. So City have had a few seasons recently where they haven't spent as much, but they're spending now, and I think that's fair enough. The question with City, and we know what the question is, and maybe one day we will find out what the truth is, or the untruth is behind the situation. Ultimately, Vader, this is why no one really says too much about Man United spending in that same way, like to buy the league, maybe because they haven't really challenged the league, or even Arsenal, although Arsenal, they have spent a lot of money.
But Rax, they're spending. Hold on, hear me out. They're spending, right? They're spending. We're buying 4 players, and they're all around 50 or 40 mil or whatever. But then there's going out and getting the absolute best and buying top dollar. That's what I'm talking about. Like, you're going out and wait, don't cut me off, Rax. Okay. You've already gotten the best German player, and arguably you're going out and getting the best striker from last season. That's what I'm talking about, right? That's the flex.
That's true. But the difference is, you would definitely have taken Florian Wirtz if he'd have chosen you. Right,
wait,
so you can't.
No. That deal was too high.
Is that actually true? Is that actually true? Did he turn down City?
The deal was too high, Rack.
Vader, read the super chat. Vader, read the super chat. What does it say?
Christ, a City fan crying about how much Liverpool are spending. Cry me a effing river. Listen, I'm not crying. I'm not complaining. I'm pointing out the difference in terms of how one is spoken versus the other.
How much? Okay, but how much will City have paid for Wirtz? You would have probably paid Jack Grealish money, right?
Yeah, no.
So you're
probably
there or thereabouts. Okay, so 100 million. Okay, 100 million. Let's say so we're paying 100 million plus 16 million add-ons. So you're there or thereabouts.
I don't know if we would.
It's like people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
No, Rex. I've been in the house. I can throw stones. I'm in the same house. I spent 100 on
Jack. I don't know if I've thrown stones. Nothing's come back.
That's the whole point.
No, but I don't know.
In your house.
I think we made the mistake. This is the learning, right? I think we did make a mistake in terms of what we bought Jack for. I think that's also a reason why we did step away from the Rice deal, right? I think there is tremendous pressure on any player that's 100+ million. I'm very curious to see how Wirtz plays with that over his head, with that type of target. But we needed more than Wirtz to change our midfield, and that's why we pivoted.
Let me say this: Rock, don't go anywhere. Rock, don't go anywhere, because this is what you said last show.
Rock, money.
Wow.
You know how why? Because that means we're going to win the Premier League. We're going to win the Champions League. He's going to win the Ballon d'Or. We're going to win the fucking lot. Take my money. No problem. We're going to win the Premier League. We're going to win the Champions League. We're going to win the Carabao Cup. We're
going to win the Super Bowl.
We're getting a fucking lot. Come on.
Hey, no, do you know what? I hear it. You got to keep that energy after that video. You got to keep it. You can't go backwards.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Oh my god. Crazy. Okay, quickly, Marc Guehi. Do you guys think he goes to Liverpool or does he go to Newcastle, or does he stay at Palace? Because in my opinion, I was thinking he might not get much game time at Liverpool, but now that I look at with Quansah leaving, he's going to be second or third in the pecking order regardless. And Konate's injury history, Van Dijk is going to need time to play in and out of the team. He can't be playing every single game at his age. He's going to get a lot of game time. And
Van Dijk will play every Premier League game next season and Champions League game.
And I'm just saying, it allows him to have more cover. And also, finally, the final thing is England. He's not really going to lose his spot, even if he doesn't start.
Can I say on Guehi, right? I look at it like, I don't love Guehi. Yeah, I think he's good to very good, but I don't. But I think as a third choice centre back in the Premier League, he's arguably as good as it gets.
You don't think he's a starter?
I think I rate Konate and Van Dijk above him. Like, I think Konate's.
I think he's just as good as Konate.
Yeah,
Van Dijk is the one that's the level above.
Yeah, I don't. For me, Guehi's got a lot of questions. I think he can obviously step up, but Palace playing in back three, certain line. Physicality, like obviously he's a little shorter than some. So there's a couple of questions. Doesn't mean I don't think he can't level up. It just means that to me, Konate is the better centre back right now. But as a third choice centre back, no team in the Premier League would have a better third choice centre back than Guehi.
Man City.
Sorry, Jay, why aren't you not going in for it?
It's okay.
Guehi, I don't think wants to come to us.
Bro, Eze, Guehi, all of these lot.
I don't think Guehi wants to come to us.
They offered 70 million to Palace in January, got rejected.
Yeah, but I think we could have got him in January. But you see,
you offered 70 million, Jay.
Yeah, but the club, the
70.
No, it was like 55 in add-ons, but yeah, 70 in total. But the point, Egal, that the player. This is what I'm trying, Egal. This is so amazing how you've circled it back to the point I made. So the player didn't force a move. Do you see? The players are not forcing a move. The player is not. We bid. They said no. Player said, "All right, cool, no problem."
Jay, no disrespect you, but do you reckon like it's because it's Spurs, or do you reckon they just want a bigger club?
I think certain players.
But see, Em tried to say that in the most polite way possible.
No, I'm not. No. Because bro, there's so many players that I see that Tottenham should be going for. Do you know what I mean, bro? And it's like if players are turning down, a team like Spurs, it's clearly because they think they can do better. There's no other reason.
Yeah, exactly, and that's okay. I think Guehi probably at this point in his career thinks he could do better than Spurs. I think that's a fair thing to say. I'm not. His perception of Spurs is not something for me to get annoyed about. Do you know what I mean? His perception is his perception, and if he thinks he's capable of playing for a bigger club, and Liverpool are going in for him and want to sign him, you can argue that he is validated in his opinion because he is now going to go play at Liverpool. So he's validated in not forcing a move in January because he's going to a bigger, better club. So I'm not upset about that. It's normal. It's life. We all move for better jobs. We all stay. Some
players do have, designated teams that they support as well.
Jay, my question is not about that. My question is simply about: do you guys think there's any possible way that Guehi could lose his England spot, playing in a Liverpool team where
if he plays for Liverpool, he's nailed on. He'll cement his spot really.
The only thing I would say is I don't know how, because like Jay said, I think he's a good player. I don't think he's an elite player. I think he's a good third choice centre back and can come in and do a decent job. But I don't think he's top level. And my question is, how much are we going to be paying for him? Because if we're paying 40. Fine. If we're paying 45 max, fine. Anything more than that, I don't think it's worth it.
I think they'll hold out for 50. If I'm holding out for 50.
The partnership's so important as well because you're looking at it and it's like, imagine Van Dijk and Guehi. That could work. That could really work. You look at, I don't know, like if you put, just an example, Guehi and someone like Maguire or someone like, it doesn't complement him. It just won't work. But then again,
but also you've got to understand that Slot is a coach, so he's going to be coaching these players, trying to develop them, trying to get more out of them, things like that. So the version of
the coach, what's Thomas Frank?
Same principle. Same principle. But the thing is like sometimes you've got other managers who are more bigger picture, and you've got more managers who are in the weeds with the details. So when you've got a manager who's very detail orientated, you've got more capacity to improve. Also, when you've got a good system, it can hide your flaws as a player. So you want to accentuate the positives, minimize perceptional negatives. And I think obviously Guehi's a good player. But he wasn't their first choice either, because they wanted to get Huijsen from Bournemouth.
I think 60-70 million for Guehi is just
but you see that
he's apparently going to go for 45.
Yeah, but so the money that they wanted to bid for Huijsen is similar, maybe a little bit cheaper than the money they wanted to bid for Guehi. So Liverpool have basically got about 40 to 50 million to spend on a centre back this window.
Can we be honest? Man City had the crown of the best run club in the league. I think Liverpool now have it.
City have not got that until these. I don't want to say it. You know what I'm talking about. Let's see
what Guyana's signings. Let's see what Guyana's signings do first.
I don't want to say it, mate. I'm not going to wind you up. But if everything comes clear of that, then best run club for
All right, guys. We got 10 minutes left. We got to ask Jay about the David Ornstein bomber.
Wait, I've got to go, man. Sorry. Big up again. Big up on the panel. I'll catch you next time. Back to video chat.
No, I'll stay for a couple more minutes.
All right. Semenyo has been linked to Tottenham Hotspur. Jay, how you feeling?
Good player. I think like the 60 million is the new 50 million, which was the former 40 million. It's like the money doesn't. I think Spurs have been linked now with Kudus, Mbeumo and Semenyo. So it tells me that Spurs want a Prem-proven wide player this window. That's what the links tell me. We probably will get one. Like based off these links, the players you look at Kudus, you look at Semenyo, you look at Mbeumo, they're all arguably on the market for the right price. So I think they're all good players. They all add value in different ways. I'd be happy to get any of them. I don't know what's happening with Son at the moment, things like that. But, bringing in Premier level needle movers, Semenyo's 25. I call him kind of like budget Leao. Do you know what I mean? He plays a bit like a budget level Rafael Leao. But that doesn't mean that if you get a coach like a Frank who can really elevate his positives, you can't really be looking at a top level player. He's got good output in the Premier League. I like the player, but I like lots of players. I think the important thing in football now is, working out what's a good price point and not trying to go past it and then moving on to other options. So to me, Kudus, Mbeumo, Semenyo, I think you're paying 60 million for any of them, really. I think that's the market rate for any of them. I think that's what you're going to play. I don't mind any of the three. They're all good players. Happy to see it. We haven't got... The thing with Spurs is we can score goals. Everyone's contributing a decent amount, like Maddison, Solanke, Son, Johnson. Then you've got players like Odegaard, Kulusevski, Mikey Moore coming through, and obviously Richarlison too. So decent basis of attackers there. If you bring in a Semenyo who's got in good GA, bringing in Mbeumo who's bringing good, that's what you're doing. You're bringing in good.
Do you think it's one or the other, or do you think it could?
Yeah, we're not going to sign both. We're not going to sign both. We haven't got enough. Because if you look at the attack, you've already got like Johnson, Odegaard, Kulusevski, Son's still there at the moment. Richarlison, Solanke. Then you got people like Mikey Moore. I think Solomon. They'll have a look at pre-season. That's before you mention any youngsters. And then you're going to bring a winger on top of that. That's a lot to sort out. So one winger in.
Isn't the kid from Southampton? What's the name?
Diblin's been yeah. So like one player in, then you're gonna have to see some cleaning up. Like you're gonna have to see a couple of players leave, and then maybe you might see.
Talk about Son maybe leaving.
I think Son needs to have the conversation because I think Son could get a new lease of life under someone like Frank. He's not worked with a manager like Frank, like maybe since early Poch. Do you know what I mean? So and even Poch isn't as tactical as Frank. So this is the first time he's almost worked with a proper tactical. He's got a team of analysts, a team of players who are trying to improve him. He's platform. The thing about Frank that I like the most is that when you look at Brentford's history of attackers, they had Ben Rama, then they had Watkins, and then they had Tony, then they had Mbuemo, then it's Visa. So you've got 5 different kinds of attackers who were all platformed perfectly. Yeah. All of those attackers reached their optimum under Thomas Frank. Every single one of them. So my point is we've got a batch of good attackers. So if all of these attackers are capable of reaching their promise and stuff, it doesn't matter who they bring in. You're doing a data analytical approach. You tell me who the best player for this team is. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm just a kid watching football with some YouTube analysis. Do you know what I mean? You're getting paid millions to tell me that this player fits. So you do your job, and I'll do my job supporting the team. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, guys, you want to laugh? Today's Nicholas Jackson's birthday. Apparently, he got that red card to have some time off.
Why are you? Jay's just done an amazing monologue, and you're laughing about Nicholas Jackson's birthday.
I'm sorry. Jay,
it's all good, man. It's all
Jay,
good.
I'll tell you this: if Tottenham do all their business well, where could you see them next season? Like, what is a good season for you?
I think there's a lot of variable, but I think do you know what's really funny, right? Again, it's so funny.
Season.
You know what? I'm gonna compare this to something, Egal, and I think you might appreciate this. Do you remember when you sacked Emery, right? Yeah. That season, the season that you sacked Emery, I believe if you hadn't have sacked Emery, you would have had a season very similar to the season that Tottenham just had.
You think we would have won the Europa League with Emery?
I think you might have, but I think you would have finished low in the Premier League too.
All right.
Right? So my thing is there's a synergy to that. So you brought Arteta in, so some changes. So I can look at 8th as a bottom, and I can look at maybe top 4. Fifth is going to make Champions League. So I think 5th to 8th, and really trying to attack the FA Cup, trying to make the semis, trying to win the trophy is a good.
Try and go back to back trophy seasons.
Hey, listen, I got a taste for it. You know what I mean? Like a vampire. That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm coming for the FA Cup's blood. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Turn off the lights, bro. Count Dracula. That's all I'm saying is like, I want Spurs to kick on. You see the Levy interview this week? Man saying he wants to win the league. Man saying he wants to win the Champions League. Like, you look at Vinay. I know you haven't spoken about Vinay, but Vinay is the guy that helped turn your club around. He's the guy that put in place a lot of the stuff that you benefit from now. Like a lot of the stuff and so I'm optimistic that this is the end of the beginning, not the beginning of the end, Egal. So we're all looking forward to this season at Tottenham. Do you know what I mean?
That was Jay pulled out all the like the 80s film one-liners in one monologue.
Absolutely. I'm sure I'm this close to saying take my breath away. Do you know what I mean?
I think if you sign Semenyo, if you sign Eze, if you sign whoever you sign out of those guys, Xavi Simons even, they're all very good quality players. And it looks like everyone is going for really good players. That it's not like it's only just Arsenal that's going for players that people are like, everybody else's players is like, I'll take who Liverpool are looking at. I'll take who you're looking at. Some of the players Manchester United are looking at, I don't really know. Chelsea, I don't really know. It just seems like some of your clubs are doing very like understandably good business that no one can really question. You know how content creators we are always like, I don't know if Tottenham should sign that player, or Arsenal should sign that player. To me, everybody Liverpool is signing is like no brainer. Everybody Man City signed this window, no brainer. Everybody Tottenham's linked to, no brainer. But then you look at Arsenal, I'm like, what do we think? What are we doing? And then I look at
don't worry, guys. You've got a whole summer of this. We'll look
It's still time. Yeah,
there's plenty of time. Come on, Egal. What happened to the Egal 35 minutes ago? I'm confident of the business that
I am confident, but why do we always have to do things the hard way?
Oh, listen, what happened to him in Burton Trust? What I saw on your timeline, Burton's doing the
but I'm not holding. Burton just walked in. Bro, Bertha just walked in. Let's be honest. It's on Edu for leaving Partey to 1 year left on his contract.
It's on Edu. It's on Edu.
Yeah.
Oh, is that so now you're blaming the man that don't even work here no more.
Okay, it's on the
I'm
club.
coming I'm coming in. The
It's
toilet's blocked. Someone blocked the toilet, and you're blaming the guy that left 6 months ago. He didn't shit in the toilet. He didn't block the toilet.
All right. I get it. People want to chat shit. It is what it is.
Jay's on one today, man. Jay's on one.
Jay is definitely.
It's been a good week. It's been a good week.
It's been a good week for you. Hopefully, it's going to be a good week for me. I'm going to actually be heading on to Jacob. I don't know if you guys know Joseph. He's Chelsea fan.
Do you know him? I'm asking you, do you know who this person is?
I honestly, I am terrible.
Jacob, Joseph, Jonathan, something like that, whatever.
Jeremiah, it doesn't matter. We're going over there.
I'm terrible with names. But guys, I'm gonna be going on his channel, and he's kind of said, you know what? He's not in the mood for banter. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say, Chelsea, hold that L, and every single one of you guys come over there and make fun of him losing today. And yeah, we're gonna be over there in a second. As for now, I'm just gonna say, Vader, you're gonna win the Club World Cup.
I'm in it to win it, man. That's what it's about.
There you go. He's feeling confident. Then we got Rack in the building. Rack, any parting words on Florian Wirtz today?
I refer you to the second monologue of today. You're more than welcome to clip it. You already clipped the other one, so I just refer you to that.
All right, and then Jay, you want to finish off the show with anything as you walk in the building?
You know what? It's been a nice week. Chelsea got absolutely humbled. You know, like by the pink flamingos. You know, Florian Wirtz Day. Congratulations, Liverpool. Oh, I've not spoken on Cherki, by the way. Do you know what I mean? Like it was. I was gonna say it was a tough debut for the boy, but do you know what I mean?
Jay, there'll be another disaster class.
Yeah.
We can talk about it next week. We can talk about it next week.
Did you notice? Did you notice Phil Foden and him? The chemistry wasn't there. It was like you're trying to take my job.
The girl's like there's 20 seconds left of the show, but I've still got enough time to slander Phil Foden.
Yeah, I did it earlier. Let's go, guys. We catch you on the next one.
Pass me the ball.
All this attention for a 30 mil.
I don't see you.
Listen, finally, Isak's not joining Liverpool. We all know that. Have a good night, guys. Peace out. Join me on Joseph's show. Please do hit that like button.
Jeremiah,
Joshua.
Yeah.
Okay. Love. Catch me on that show. Say Egal Raid. We're out of here. Peace. I don't know.